Why everyone needs a coach to succeed. Hey there, I'm Dr. Jane, and I'm joined by Executive Coach Shawn Comboy. Hey, Shawn.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good, good. What about you?
I'm fabulous.
Fantastic. I love that word. Well, what do you think about this topic? I mean, you're a coach, I'm a coach, so obviously we're going to tell people that they need a coach, but don't take it from us, right?
Yeah, don't take it from us. In fact, I would say that arguably, Bill Gates is a very successful human being.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And Bill Gates says, and this is a quote, everyone needs a coach. He's got a coach. Probably every professional that he knows of has a coach, and probably him in his personal life. I have a coach. Jane, do you have a coach?
I have 2 coaches and a mentor, all paid, all out of pocket funded, because I'm a better me. I'm a better me for myself and for everybody in my life when I have them.
Mm-hmm. And I can think back, I can think of myself way back when I was first in the career space and what have you, and I didn't have a coach. And now once I finally decided, hey, this is what I need, and I started investing in myself, wow, and things changed for me. I mean, almost immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. And the funny thing, there are people all the time who tell me, oh, you're my coach. And I'm like, if I don't know your name, I'm not your coach, because they'll watch our YouTube channel and, they're getting all sorts of tips and tricks and guidance and whatever from me, but they're not getting coached because coaching is a very personal experience. So today, Shawn and I have put together our collective top 3 things that our coaches have done for us, which coaches generally do for people and which we do for other people. So whether she's the right coach for you, whether I'm the right coach for you, it doesn't matter. These 3 things are really what you should expect from having one, right?
Yeah. And I love what you said before you jump in. I love what you said is that what makes having a coach so impactful is that it's personal, it's tailored towards you. I mean, the things that you struggle with and the things that are your strengths are not the same things that are mine or Jane's. I mean, we're different. And that's where the power comes in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm gonna put on my other set of eyes so I can see my notes that I made, my geek glasses. And so the number one thing that I get out of having a coach, and the reason that I will always have a coach and a mentor, and coaches are different from mentors. Mentors will guide you in a specific area. So I have a business and spiritual mentor, same person, but a business and spiritual mentor. And then I have a marketing coach and I have a mindset coach. So, and they're different. They serve different purposes. And your mentor is invested in your life like your coach is, but your mentor is not going to spend that super solid focused time with you on a regular basis. It's more of like that advisory position for you to have. But you should have, I believe, both, but definitely a coach. A coach is more personal, gets down and dirty with it. The number one thing that I get in coaching, and what Shawn and I agreed on before we came on here to record this for you, is coaches help you see your blind spots. So let's think about a fish in a lake under the water. And fish look up and they can't see what's outside the water. They can see the bottom of the boat. They can see where the water ends. They don't know that that's where the water ends because they can't see anything past it because they're a reflection of light. Okay. So that's why a fish bites the hook with the bait on it, because they can't see that it's attached to the line, that's attached to the pole, that's attached to the hungry man that's inside the boat. Right. And so that is what a coach basically does for us. So in this scenario, I'm the fish. My coach isn't the fisherman. My coach is someone who can see the entire situation, can see underneath the water, above the water, and say, hey, little fishy Jane, that hook's connected to the line that's connected to the pole that's connected to the person. What do you think that the right step is here for you? Bite it or swim the other way? And then so a coach gives you options and tells you things that you aren't seeing, which the short term for that is blind spots.
I love that. And that kind of plays into what I would call the second reason or most important thing that you get from a coach. And it's all about power. And what I mean by that is understanding that, first of all, that you have power, understanding where that power is so that you can harness it and use it to accomplish whatever goal that you're trying to accomplish. And, I'll tell you, for me, most of my coaching is in the professional space.
Mhm.
And I have so many folks that come to me that are looking to accomplish something. And it's interesting as I get to know them, and through them get to know what's going on in their environment, who the people are they're interacting with, their boss and what have you. I'm looking for their power. And what's interesting is they're, like Jane said, they are in their own little fishbowl. By the way, we're all in our own little fishbowl, but they're in their own little fishbowl. And as I'm observing, I'm helping them. I'm seeing where the power is, and then through the coaching process, help them to first understand that they have it, which so many people are very surprised by that. See where it is, and then we work through how do you harness it to get what you want. I'll give you a great example of someone I worked with, extremely accomplished woman, in senior executive. And she came to me looking for, what she was trying to get was a seat at the table. And what was in her company. And what was really interesting is after a few sessions and me getting to know her environment and getting to know who her boss, the CEO, was, and who some of the other stakeholders and colleagues that she was working with, I finally said, can I make an observation? And I said, you already have a seat at the table. They are listening to you. They have changed course over some of your comments. Now, they don't always agree with you. And it sounds like they're all pretty poor communicators. But the thing is, you already have a seat at the table. I think what we need to work on is you taking a seat.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. And the interesting thing for people, and they might, somebody might be watching this going, that's great, knowing your power, but I don't have any power. I don't have any talent. I'm just not powerful.
Everybody does.
I know. So, but the thing about it is, if that is you, if you're watching this right now and that thought even tried to sneak into the awareness of your thoughts, please understand that you have done this for other people. Is there anyone in your life who you pointed out something to that they're good at, that they didn't realize? Or even an easy example is, a lot of times we know people in screwed up relationships, right? And sometimes you can point out something to the person about themselves, like, you actually really are strong. You actually really can stand up for yourself because I've seen you do it before. And then you help them. That's you, the doubter, the person who's doubting yourself, pointing out to somebody else an area of their power so that they can be stronger for themselves. So they couldn't see it for themselves though. And you help them see that. So in that moment, you were the third party pointing out the blind spot, helping them see their power. So Shawn, I love that one because they do go, hand in hand. They do link together.
And can I just say too, I love what you just said. And it had to do with people that say, I don't have any power. I don't know about you, but one of the things that Jane and I do when we're meeting a new client or a potential new client for the first time, for them to just, say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm trying to work on. I mean, these calls usually last, 20, 30 minutes. And I mean, Jane and I are good at this. I can see where their power is almost immediately. I'm so often just struck by, wow, this is a real rock star. I am so excited about the potential this person has once they just take a hold of it, because they already have it.
And especially the people who are hardest on themselves, who insist that they don't have it. Those are
usually the most powerful.
I know. So if you're feeling like you're not powerful right now, please hear what we just said. Give it a little rewind.
If you're hard on yourself, you're probably a powerhouse.
Yes, you're just a powerhouse waiting to happen. You just need a strong coach to bring it out. And if anybody's here like, okay, well, how do I have one of these calls? Just check out the description on this video, because we always have links and stuff in there. You can talk to me, you can talk to Shawn, you can find our website, whatever. And just have, we call them discovery calls. So like discover what this could do for you. If that's something that you're drawn to do. And I will just say, if you just have an inkling about it, then that's your body saying this is for you. So go ahead and do that. All right. So number 3, the third thing, and this is definitely not only 3 things that you're going to get from coaching, but a third really pivotal thing that I can say has happened every time that I've been coached and every time that I've coached, and I've been coaching for more than 20 years. I was 3 years old when I started coaching, just kidding. But I've been coaching for 2 decades. Okay. Every single time I've coached someone, and every single time someone's coached me, whoever the client was, me or the other person, we always developed a deeper understanding of others. And this is so important, not clearly in personal life, but so important in business. Because even if you have a business where you do singular tasks, I have a friend who's an anesthesiologist because he doesn't really like people. And he doesn't really have to hear from them very much. He comes in, puts them to sleep, he leaves the room, he gets great salary. I know somebody else who reads x-rays. What's that called? Radiologist. Thank you. Just like bing. I know the word just was not in my brain. I have another friend who's a radiologist for the same reason. He's like, I wanted a doctor's salary without having to deal with the patients. Okay, that's fantastic. Fair. They don't have a deep understanding of how to deal with others, but they have to deal with their peers. So it doesn't matter, even if you have a job where you don't have to deal with others very much, or you have tasks that don't require you to deal with others. At the end of the day, everything always comes back to relationship. And so having a deeper understanding of self helps you grow empathy, which is the bedrock for leadership, which puts you on the path to success. And it all comes back to relationships. And by understanding others, you can have that deeper relationship.
And if I can just add to that too, in the process, I think you really gain objectivity, because so often someone, a client comes in and they want to talk about something that happened in the day, and they'll tell us this, this charged event that happened and what have you, and their interpretation of it. And I don't know how many times I say, that's not as you've described this to me, and knowing that the way you've described this is the worst possible scenario. So there's no, I know you're not being easy on yourself. I know, I get that I'm hearing the worst possible scenario, and yet it's not the way it's coming across to me. Yeah. And again, it's the reason I am able to do that as your coach, or someone's coaching me, is that I'm not in the weeds. I'm literally completely unattached to everything about this, and I can look at it with 100% objectivity. And that's, as your coach, what I can bring.
Impartial third party. And there's one other thing and we're about out of time, but there's one other thing that I've had people actually laugh at when I've used this word. Or used this term. I don't use it very often, but not judgment-free awareness. I've actually had people go, can you be judgment-free? And yeah, you can. It just takes some practice. It doesn't necessarily come naturally, because we are naturally taught to judge, constantly be judging. But a coach brings judgment-free awareness. I had a client once with a completely unique lifestyle to anything that I had ever been, family, sexual relationship, lifestyle, a polyamorous type of a situation. I had never been exposed to this before. I was very, very curious about it. But when she first came to me and asked me to coach her, she said, knowing that this is the situation that I'm in, I'm going to want to talk about some of the dynamics of this situation. Are you okay with that? Which was cool of her to be like,
great question.
Hey, tell me the weird things about yourself so that I can tell you if I can be impartial. I've also had men come to me who had been violent with their spouse, and I have to disclose to them, my first marriage, I was beaten. And so I don't think that I can be impartial to you in this way because of my own personal scars. So maybe you're better to work with Shawn or our coach Kendra, or, somebody else, or maybe I can refer you out to another coach who's not in GILD. But I don't believe that I'm the right person to work with a man who has been physically violent, just because of my own scars. So, I really think that everybody needs to understand that is the key to a really, really good coach, is to be able to come impartial, third party, isn't your friend, isn't your mother, isn't your neighbor, doesn't have another role in your life other than to focus on your success, on your mindset, on what's going to take you to the next level, and be able to do it with impartiality. It's perfectly said, Shawn. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on
Yes.
the channel. If this was of use to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you took any notes in the comments section, like sometimes I encourage you to, then thumbs up will put it in your liked video so you can find them really fast. But also, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell. That way we'll end up in your feed so that you'll see the next time that we drop a video like this to help you have more success in your life. See you next time.